What's up, dudes? Picture this. You're on a boat at night, no waves, just stars and black water. And then singing happens. Not loud, not dramatic. Soft, personal, like it somehow knows your name. Don't feel scared, honestly. You feel calm. And that's when you realize this isn't a song, it's bait. Today, we're talking about Sirens, the original Don't Follow the Voice legends of the sea. Let's get into it. What is up, dudes? Welcome to the Paranormal Dudes podcast, episode 84. We are back at it again. Back at it again. Hello, if you're new here, yes, things get a little nuts. This isn't your regular podcast where we take ourselves very seriously, or the subject matter, we don't take it seriously sometimes, which is kind of bad at times, or I don't know. It's just, this is who we are. You either hang out with us or you don't, but welcome all together if you're new here. What's up, guys? So, Jesse did mention during Normal Dudes, if you don't know what Normal Dudes is, it's our behind the scenes conversations that we don't have on the pod. It's extra content. And if you want to take a look at it or watch it or listen, you can head on over to Patreon and subscribe. You'll get a bunch of cool stuff on there. And you'll kind of, you know what I never did? I never updated our calendar.
We will be revealing our deepest
with the Switch.
Oh, with the Switch.
Yeah, with the Switch. People are waiting for the Siren episode anyway, so should be a fun time. But how has everybody been lately with the spooks? So something did happen to me over the weekend, and I've had so just to paint a picture for everybody. I've had a lot of family members in the past since last Wednesday, so it's been almost a week. So you can only imagine a bunch of energy is coming together, and we played D&D, which was super successful, by the way, and it was a lot of fun, super nerdy. And I was discussing with the people that we had the D&D session with, which is my cousin and her husband, as well as their child. And they said when we get our D&D going, they wouldn't mind if we filmed it. So I'm all for that. You know, I'm all for that, Jesse. Content, keep it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
It was just hella fun. So all this energy's concentrated together. And my little cousin, he's not little anymore, but he's younger than me. And he asked me, because I showed the picture to everybody, the picture of the little boy. And my cousin's husband is a skeptic. Like he won't believe, like he doesn't believe it's real. So I showed him, and his reaction was interesting.
What do you do?
He just had no answer. Yeah. I said, interesting. And what do you mean? What did he do? What do you mean?
Because I thought you meant like his reaction was interesting. Like I thought he like.
Oh, no. He said interesting. He was like,
oh, okay.
Oh, that's interesting. Usually when someone doesn't have a rebuttal for something, that's what they say. Interesting. Because they don't know how to.
He knows it's true, but doesn't want to give it to.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what it led to. It led to him coming to the conclusion that just doesn't want to believe that it's there, which I told him that's the reason why I experience so much is because I'm open to it, and which in turn makes you more vulnerable. And obviously, I'm going to experience things. Now, if you're not actively open to it or looking for it, it's not going to happen to you. That's just how it works. If you're not looking for it, 9 times out of 10, something paranormal is not going to happen to you because you're not feeding it the energy that it needs or that it requires to manifest or anything of that sort. So that was the first time that I was able to have a conversation with a skeptic that I at the least got them neutral in terms of the paranormal. So, but the scarier part was that my younger cousin, he kept saying, dude, there was so much going on in your house at night when everybody was asleep and it was just me. And I told him it's because whatever energy's here knows that you were awake alone. And he said, I kept hearing footsteps going up and down the stairs and like rustling in the kitchen.
Wrestling in the kitchen?
No, rustling, not wrestling. Yeah, not like John Cena, not like that kind of shit.
Dude, you gotta insert that sound at the. I'm gonna put a marker for that.
That's fine. I'll put it too. And yeah, it was just a crazy few days, and I think it had a lot to do with the different energies mixing, and I kept seeing for sure in the house. I think the boy is activated again because I'm feeling grabbing at my legs, if that like in the back of my legs, like someone trying to get my attention. So I think the little boy's back for sure, or at the least not back, but he's active, I guess you could say. But that was me from the last time we spoke. What about the lot of you?
So I'll go ahead and quickly. This is more of a sleep paralysis thing that I haven't had in a while. But I'll just make it short. In the dream, I was held down by something. I don't know what it was. I don't really remember. And when I woke up,
with a beard. Did it have a beard?
He's like, yes,
like, sorry about
I
that.
reached his dream. So I was laying on my couch. So I wasn't like fully supinated or whatever they call that position. I was kind of like inclined, like 45 degree.
Like what kind of soup?
Supine.
Sopa de fideo.
Sopa de fideo.
Caracol.
Hey, hold on.
With
I know this is like
taquitos.
I have to bring this up because I want to settle something, or I want to start a fight in the comments, especially if you're of Raza descent. Fideo seco or sopa de fideo?
Fideo seco. What is that? Spaghetti?
You've never had fideo seco? Oh, bro. You've never had fideo seco?
What up? Fideo
seco. That's like sopa de fideo, but no sopa, and it's kind of like in the pan with cheese.
Yes, exactly. Buddy knows.
Yeah.
Buddy knows. Yeah.
I've had them both, but personally, I'm gonna say fideos, like sopa de fideos, because I like soups.
Yeah, I like soups too, but it's different, dude. Like fideo seco. Oh, bro. It's like, especially if you're like gaming really late at night, and it just hits, man. It just hits, especially with some maybe crema and guacamole on top. Oh, bro.
I used to like my grandmother making those like on a Friday, because then Saturday morning we would wake up, and we always had pizza Friday night. So Saturday morning I'd wake up and literally slap fideo seco on top of a slice of pizza.
Dude, that sounds so good.
It was fat boy problems.
Okay, that was just my side quest. Go ahead and continue, Oscar. I'm so sorry.
I just follow the instructions on the Nor Sopita packet. You just need to add water.
Yeah.
It's true. The nor sopitas, they already have the tomato and everything in it. You just boil water and you pour the packet in, and that's it.
It's almost like cup of noodles, but in a bowl.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I buy those for Demo because he eats them like 7 times a day.
Where were we before we became a cooking show?
Sopa de caracol.
So I was holding Oscar down in his dream.
Yeah, you were holding Oscar down in his dream. Okay.
All right. So I woke. You know how you have that moment of like you wake up but your eyes are still closed, and then you realize, okay, I'm waking up.
Yeah.
So that moment is usually like when you get sleep paralysis. So I felt an arm here. I felt an arm here on my forearm, and I felt pressure on my hip.
Oh.
3 places. And when I got up to
natural.
like move, like I opened up my eyes and I felt it, and I got up to move, I felt that pressure like alleviate as I was putting strength to get up. Like if somebody was just there holding.
Yeah.
So
it was Liz helping the sleep paralysis demon, just the other arm on your shoulder. Dude, honestly, when you said the wasting, that was very like Incubus-esque almost. Buddy, have you been experiencing anything lately?
I have been experiencing an unknown amount of, or unexplained amount of insomnia.
Oh,
like
is this
usually,
something new from you?
Yeah, there's times that I can have like some insomnia, but I stay up late, I go to sleep, and I'm good after 2-3 hours. I mean, you have insomnia, you get a couple hours, and it's kind of like, okay, that was all my sleep.
Yep.
But I've been like, and this last week I was cleaning out the garage, moving a lot of boxes, and like I'm just trying to organize. So I'm already very tired, like physically, and at night I'd come to my room, I'd get in bed, and I'd want to fall asleep, and I just couldn't. And I went about 4 nights with no sleep, maybe a half hour, and I'd wake up and it's like, that's it. And we had talked about shooting, what was it, yesterday, doing the recording. And I was like, I can't. I'm just too tired. And I was literally like bags, like, yeah. And I was like, good, we're not going to record. We're going to hold it off another day. I got in bed and I literally laid in bed till about 5:30 in the morning. Because my wife's alarm went off, and I know that's when she gets up to get ready for work. And the alarm went off, and I just remember like turning this way to see like that the alarm went off, and then I fell asleep. And the only reason I woke up was because at 7:00 she walked out the door, and the blink camera or whatever, it went off, and it woke me up again. So I got about an hour and a half, but I've been wide awake literally like every night for the last 4. Well, this would be 5 nights now.
This isn't the end of the electrical anomaly. I think we'll get more out of it moving forward. We'll see. We'll update you dudes out there to figure out what's going on with Buddy's stuff. At the top of the podcast, Jessie did say something happened to her.
Yes.
With her kids.
It did happen.
Just so that everybody's aware, if you're new here, Jessie's kids are hella clairvoyant, just like Jessie. So this is going to be interesting to hear.
Okay, so for whatever reason, God knows why, my husband was like, "Oh, Vale wants to go take a tour of the Whaley house." I'm like, "Why?" And I don't know where she saw it. I mean, I'm sure she's like, when last time all the billions of times we've been to Old Town in San Diego. I've always told her like, "Oh, that's a very pretty house," and she's like, "Is it haunted?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's haunted." So anyways, so we have lunch and we walk over there and she's like, "I want to go on the tour." So I'm like, "I'm not going to go because I'm not going to pay again for like a tour I've been to on 50 million times." So it was just my sister, my husband, and my 2 kids. Well, they had to wait like 5 minutes for the freaking tour to begin because it's like every 15 minutes and the poor tour guide is like the most happiest, bubbly girl in the whole wide world. It's like, why would you even like hire her? Like, it's supposed to be scary.
Most non-scary person ever.
Yeah. She
Okay,
was like,
guys. So we're gonna go this way and that way. If you have your go potty, go that way. I don't know why I'm doing
she's like
Mickey
talking
Mouse.
about the story of Victoria or whatever. And I'm like, I'm gonna go sit down. Like, I'm gonna go sit down. So I'm sitting there, and then like 5 minutes later, I see Vale coming towards me. And I'm like, what happened? And she was like crying. And I was like, why are you crying? And she's like, I don't want to go. And she's like, it's so haunted in there. And I'm like, oh, it's not even haunted. Mommy was lying. No, you weren't lying. She's like, and she was just like crying. And Eric was like, oh, she just got scared, like whatever. Cause apparently, like, I don't really remember it that well, but I guess like it takes you to the back and then like there's like a convenience store and then like it goes into like a kitchen and then you can go up like the stairs.
Yeah, the kitchen.
And she was in the kitchen. Later on, like during that day when we were talking, I said, why did you get so scared in there? And she's like, because I walked into the kitchen and she's like, and something pulled my shirt. And I said, what do you mean? And then Eric was like, no, that was me. And she's like, it wasn't you, Daddy. She's like, it was the little boy that tugged my shirt.
Oh, hat.
And
That's the little boy that they say that you can feel, like you can, or it's the dog.
I didn't even know if there was a little boy or what, but that's what she told me. Like, I have to go and do research because I haven't really looked into it. I've always known about it, but I haven't really like deep dive into that shit.
Well, looks like we're going to have an episode on Thanks to Vale
I know,
on the
right?
Whaley House.
So that's what she says. She's like, I'm never going in there again. Like maybe when I'm 7, what did she say? When I'm 10. And I was like, okay, whatever. So then Amy comes with Demo and he's like sad. And I'm like, what's the matter, baby? And he's like, and then Amy's like, oh, it's because we went. And then he was just like, he got very quiet. And then when we were going to go up the stairs, like, he looked up the stairs and he was like, I don't want to go. And she was like, why? And he's like, and then he was just like sad. He's like, I want to go. And so when they're walking outside and I was like, what's the matter? And he's like, I go, why are you sad? And he's like, I feel sorry for somebody. I'm like, you feel sorry for somebody? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I feel sorry for the lady. And I was like, what lady? And he's like, the lady at the top of the stairs. And I was like,
oh, hell no.
And I was like, okay, well, we don't have to go back in there again. And then like Amy was like, and my mom were like going crazy. They were like, well, what did you see? And then I was like, leave them alone. Like, give them
they're like interviewing him.
I know. And Amy's like, it's because Vale, them was an empath like me. And Vale this. And I was like, you guys, like Diane said, like, leave my children alone. Like, they just saw whatever
like
experience.
probing them.
Yeah. Like, let them be. And then Vale was just like, Amy was like, I just had a horrible feeling. Like when I walked in there, she's like, it was something about the kitchen. And then when I went up the stairs, she's like, I didn't even want to go up the stairs. She's like, I'm so glad Thema was like, I don't want to go up there. She's like, because I didn't even want to go up there. And so Eric was like, you should have gone. And I was like, I know. It's bad enough. Like it took me like a week to fucking recover when I visited Coronado. And I was like, I'm not going in there, especially if there's like this much activity right now.
Easy. Okay. I mean, I've been to the Whaley House a few times. I've never experienced anything there.
Me neither. The 10 times I've been there, I'm like, when these bitches gonna come out?
Yeah. So I mean, maybe it correlates to what we've said before because of the purity of children, and they just see shit. You know, whether they report it to their parents or not. I think it just happens. And I think that's what happened to your children. But I'm not entirely surprised that something happened to them, to be honest with you.
Me neither. That's how I was like, I didn't even know why they wanted to go in the first place. Like, I was like, something's gonna happen to you. We're like, no.
And something did. And something did happen. Ooh, okay. Well, that was a nice little, we haven't had a catch up like that in a while. It's usually, I don't know, the past few weeks it's been very light and we're just, nothing happened to me. No. Looks like it's starting to move on over into how we usually feel the rest of the year. Or the
all the
things we
holiday
experience.
ghosts are gone.
Either
winter
like
break
they're
is
coming
over.
back from vacation. Yeah, winter
Yeah.
break's over. That's what it is. They're clocking in. I'm sure the Ergogor will come back at some point and start hanging out with us. So finishing up his vacation.
Well, Ergogor is over with Buddy and his electricity.
Maybe it's a possibility. So stay tuned, my dudes, around that. These next couple of months are going to be nutty.
7,000 likes and
followers.
we'll send Oscar to the California Midwinter Fair.
10,000 likes and we'll send Oscar there and he has to sleep overnight in the stables.
Hey, Buddy, at my house.
The footage will be on Patreon. Okay. So a lot of people have been waiting for this topic that we're going to cover tonight. So have I. And the role-playing part after we speak on Sirens.
That's what I'm most excited about.
Oh, that's going to be a doozy. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Tonight, Jesse has the floor for our Sirens. And let's go ahead and Under the Sea. I know it's different. It's not, I know they're evil or whatever, but let's go ahead and follow
Why
this
didn't you
dangerous
give
path.
Buddy the siren? He was.
Hey, Sergio.
The siren fits him more.
Look at this stuff.
Isn't it
Isn't
neat?
it neat? Wouldn't you say my collection's complete?
My collection's complete. If you're on Patreon, we're gonna give a concert after this. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
I love this freaking topic because I was like, oh my God, I love sirens. I want to be a siren. But I can see why you chose siren for my topic.
Let's see.
Because I lure sailors and I'm just kidding.
Hello, soldier.
Hello, soldier. So it's crazy because you think of Little Mermaid, right? Ariel going down there saving Prince Eric, but a siren is usually ugly. Like if you've ever seen those shows on Discovery Plus or those, have you guys ever seen those? Like,
yeah, I have.
They're so weird looking. They look like they're half like weird fish, half, I don't know. They're just ugly. So when people usually talk about a beautiful siren, they picture pretty graceful mermaids with their hair blowing in the wind.
Like this one.
Like that one. But in early Greek mythology, they were part women, part bird, wings, talons, with human faces. More
like this?
No, I think that she's even pretty.
Oh, okay. I see.
I mean, she's a pretty bird lady. I mean, but yeah, she's half something. And then they lived on rocky coastlines near dangerous waters. And their whole job was simply sing, lure sailors, and watch ships crash. And not by force, but by monsters attacking, by making people want to die for the song.
So there is, I'm not well versed in sirens by any stretch. I have seen some of the documentaries that you're referring to, and hold on, something's going on here. There's
Sergio,
noises.
Sergio, something popped up over your left shoulder.
Really?
No, I'm not even joking. Something popped up, like kind of like a peak. I thought it was Zoe.
Okay. See, the Ergogor's clocked in. It's clocked in.
You were the one that summoned.
You summoned it. Yeah.
I didn't summon it.
You said it was clocking in today, and now it's here.
Like I was saying, I'm not an expert on sirens by any stretch, but I have watched some of the documentaries, and I've witnessed some videos on social media. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's a guy on one of those huge frigates that carry containers and stuff like that. I think I'm if my memory serves me correct, or maybe it's just like a boat, a fishing boat. And you see something swimming along with the ship, and then he starts to hear singing, and then he starts to hear a woman's voice call out to him and tell him to get in the water with it. It's crazy. If I could find it before we close today's episode, I'll share it with everybody, because it's a pretty crazy video. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced something or seen anything like that when it comes to sirens.
I have. I saw like the whole documentary on sirens, and that's like one of the things I wish I could experience. Like when that's the few times that I've been on cruises, like don't get me wrong, the days that we're out to sea, I'd be like out there, like what the fuck is like the best time, especially at night, like hoping to see something weird or like a mermaid, right? But what's creepy is like the songs that they sing, or like it's different. The songs that they sing have not necessarily been recorded or remembered. They seem to be very personal. So some would say that they could hear a song that they would be lured to, but some would also say that it was like a vibration, or some would even like reported that it was like they would hear themselves. So like they would think something, and then they would hear something finish their thought and kind of do a command or ask them to do something. Either if it was promising them something, or kind of saying like the answer to a question that they were kind of thinking about. They didn't even know they were thinking about. So it's like mixed reports. It was never like, oh, I fell in the ocean, this thing that's a siren mermaid saved me. It was always something like I heard something, or it was a vibration, but it was a very personal one, to make enough for them to like kind of in a way be hypnotized and go through with what was happening.
I mean, obviously everybody here has been on a boat, right?
Yes, I have.
Have you guys ever heard random tones or feeling that kind of energy or vibration out on the sea, and possibly even hearing somewhat of singing out there? I have once.
I haven't, but maybe because I'm a female and you're a male.
Maybe. But it wasn't on a boat, to be clear. I was on a beach. I don't know, it's somewhere in LA. I forgot. And I'm on the beach. Who I was with was in the restroom. And I swear, in the water on the beach, I heard someone calling out to me. I don't know if it said Sergio. I have no idea. But I remember hearing something. I thought it was someone swimming late, but it was night. It was nighttime. And I didn't see anyone. Maybe it was a scuba diver. I don't know. But it was very strange, and it freaked me out. Like, I didn't want to be near the water. So I moved to like a berm, and it was one of the weirdest experiences. Have you guys ever experienced anything like that close to the ocean?
No, I always get like an eerie feeling anytime I'm by the water or in the ocean, but I've never heard anything that I'm like, okay, like, did you hear that? Or it's never been like that.
I had,
What about you, Will?
yeah, I had 1 year. It was our junior year. We were going into senior year in high school. And one of my best friends at the time was my friend Gabriel. We took him with us to Ensenada. And and we were actually camping out on the beach, and what do you call it? It was a campsite that was on the hill over the beach. So like the beach was right there in front of us.
Mhm.
And me and Gabriel, every day we were swimming in the ocean. And at night we'd like go like walk the campgrounds or we would go fishing. And like in Ensenada, the water doesn't drop off right away. Like you have to literally wade in till about chest high water to like cast out to get further enough into deep water. And we were out there, it was maybe like 10 or 11 o'clock at night going in the water and we were fishing. And at one point we cast out, we were coming back in, we were going to set our poles down on the beach and we were just going to hang out. And we had a guitar down there. So we would just like start jamming on the guitar while we were, waiting for a bite. And while we were sitting there, we were playing a song and I turned around and I looked and I said, "Oh, look, we got an audience." And we both saw this lady sitting on the, there's the big drains that go down into the beach, the big water drains. There was a lady sitting on top of this drain. And we both looked at her and we're like, "Oh yeah." And we just kept on playing and we looked at her. Then we looked away and when we looked back, the lady was gone. And we can't explain what we saw there until much later that night. We both got into the tent because we were sleeping out in the tent outside of in the campground. And we had a tiny TV, literally like this little like 8-inch screen. And we were playing PlayStation on it. And the next thing I know is I'm laying down with my feet towards the entrance of the tent. And my left leg got picked up and I got pulled back, like dragged. And it was only for a few feet, but it was enough to make us both start screaming. And we jumped out of the tent. We were just freaking out because we were the only ones awake and nobody was big enough to drag me like that. But yeah, that happened. And that's the one thing I've seen. I've never seen like no singing in the water or, anything in the water myself.
I mean, to be quite honest, the ocean freaks me out anyway.
Yes.
I avoid it at all costs if I don't have to go to it. And you can only imagine what's really down there, especially when it comes to these types of beings. And coming from a skeptic point of view, because there are going to be skeptics when it comes to this kind of stuff. I don't know the percentages, maybe you do, buddy, of how much we've explored our oceans. And I remember you mentioning, and I think we mentioned it before, that NASA completely stopped their exploration of our oceans abruptly with no notification why. And I think it has to do with something they possibly encountered in the ocean. So if that's the case, why wouldn't sirens be a thing? And I don't know. It's so. I guess it's just the same thing as Bigfoot, or any other cryptid. But there's been accounts of people filming weird things. And by the way, Buddy did send that video, and I ended up finding that video I was referring to. And we'll share that in a bit. But I want you guys to kind of dive in as far as the whole skepticism behind it and everything that I outlined with NASA and exploration of the ocean.
Well, I mean, if we think about it, the Earth is covered 65% in water. So all that ocean, 35% of its livable landmass, we haven't even explored all the landmass in the world.
More than 80% hasn't been explored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you think about the ocean, even if NASA was like doing extensive search and extensive like research, I don't even think they've been able to search even 10% of the ocean.
Right.
I mean, the last people that tried to go down and explore something deep in the water, we know they didn't make it. But yeah, I mean, there can be a slew of things under that water, under any water. I mean, we just don't have the ability to search it all and search it all at the same time. And it's not like being in the air where you look up and you can see birds flying in a distance. I mean, this is way different. Light doesn't go through water like it does through the air. And I mean, it's just be almost impossible. And there could be anything under there. We just haven't discovered it yet.
I mean, I agree 100% when it comes in regards to that.
But a lot of the people that have gone deep diving and exploring have said that, at least in the documentaries I was reading, is because of the certain vibrations of the boats and the equipment and like the GPS systems and whatever they were using, like that would actually like keep those or they would keep the sirens or whatever away. It wasn't very often when they would go as deep as they could, and then they would obviously, it's like a really famous scene, like it's like a submarine, you just see like a freaking siren in the front like window.
Right.
But that was very rare because of the frequency, because the same, it would follow a certain frequency and that they weren't using on purpose.
Right.
So they
So
had
do
to
you
know
think
something.
Yeah, for sure. And with that being said, do you think frequencies attract sirens and that's how they're able to find these frigates or people? You think?
Well, it depends, I think, because in certain like religions, certain um what is it, like methodologies or whatever that they've
Mythologies?
explored.
Yeah.
Yeah, mythologies, they've explored sirens. They weren't always like something negative. They were also, because they were able to tell vibrations and because they were able to make people do certain things, they were known as like those who were warning. So it wasn't necessarily because um like, let's say for instance, I think I read something about um certain pirates that were on these ships when they would hear these sirens. It was
Mhm.
because there was already a very serious storm happening. And because, those people just stayed on the boat, they were basically going into the storm and they knew they were going to die, that they would hear the songs as a warning. Like they were mourning the
Mm,
sailors that were dying or that were going to be going into those dangerous waters.
interesting. So do you think maybe sirens, since they had a close relationship with sailors or just human beings in general, and that kind of waned off because of the nature of humanity, it's evolved into something else? Do you think maybe that's why it seems a little more creepier now because we don't have that much contact with them as we used to, possibly?
I want
I
to
mean,
say we're
even
just
if,
afraid of them because we haven't studied them. I mean,
right. And how would we even communicate with them? Through vibrations, through frequencies?
Well, we could visit a nice lady with purple skin and white hair, two
Would
eels as
give us
friends.
our sea legs? Take
Her
away our sea
bottom,
legs?
the bottom half of her is an octopus, and that's how we would be able to communicate with them. I mean, granted, we might have to give up our souls, but at least we'll be able to communicate with them.
So, one of the famous stories, let me go into a famous story, is from
Okay.
the Odyssey. And this person was wanting to hear the song of the siren so bad that he got his crew to freaking tie him to the mast of the boat and be like, if you hear this bitch, don't let me go. Like, whatever you do.
Uh-huh.
So, in order to protect themselves, I'm assuming the crew plugged their ears with wax. Once they tied him and promised him that they weren't going to untie him, um, he began to hear the song of the siren. But he kind of like, he was screaming, he begged, he was crying, but it wasn't in a negative way. It
Oh,
wasn't necessarily because he was in pain. It wasn't like a crying out loud because I can't stand it. It was kind of like a crying out loud because it was like, how fucking beautiful and perfect is this truth that I'm listening to within myself? That obviously, if they were to, if you or I were to see him, we'd be like, oh, he's wilding out, like he's freaking
yeah, of
crazy.
course.
But to him, he was hearing.
What song do you think he was hearing?
People have reported hearing songs from childhood, like lullabies, maybe that bring them these beautiful memories. Irish jigs,
Okay.
just like
Buddhist.
their spouses' voices or their family's voices. So in a
Mhm.
way, I don't know, that's like some type of manipulation, right?
No, like Lil Jon and the East Side Boys to the window. To the
Maybe.
wall. Imagine.
That I would
know-
go that way. Like if I started hearing that, I'd be like, you doing the sea walk that way?
You know, I'm trying to figure this out, like listen to all this and think about what it is that the siren song would be. And you're saying like it'd be like a childhood song or something that brought tears to your eyes because it was so beautiful or anything. And if you think about it, we talked about this before in our episode with the frequencies.
Right.
And if you look at marine animals, they don't usually have ears. They have what's called a lateral line. And you'll see in a lot of fish, like scaled fish, they have a line that goes from the back of their gill all the way down to their tail. And basically that's what turns into like their ear. So any vibrations in the water, splashes, clicks, anything like that, they can pick it up and find out where it's coming from. So that's how a lot of fish actually hunt. Then you have dolphins, which are a mammal. They do have what's considered eardrums and ears, but they use echolocation. So they're sending out a frequency and it bounces back and they can hear it. And there's studies that show that dolphins will actually come near humans and they'll, with their echolocation, they'll shoot it off into the human, and it's known to like cure certain types of pains, certain types of illnesses. Like they're very therapeutic to be around. And so like this siren song, if we think about this, it's like a half fish, half human, which would be like half mammal, half, fish. It could be the sirens are giving off some kind of like echolocation, and that frequency triggers us to have like happy emotions. Like we start hallucinating childhood songs or sounds that make us smile and freak out and cry in happiness because of this song, what we hear as a song in our head. I mean, that's where I'm kind of going with this is, maybe they don't actually
So-
sing a song, but it's something that triggers us to, release that idea.
So because with most of these like stories, they're saying that it's not necessarily somebody, like it's not necessarily you that is seeing a siren or hearing this melody. It's like you that's choosing it because it's something that is beautiful and perfect, and that is kind of something within yourself. With the cases of this happening where they hear the voices, and despite of whoever their crew is yelling at them and they don't care, they're just listening to the siren, all of a sudden unalive themselves off of a boat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, how could you explain that? Did you think that it's kind of like, I've heard what I've had to hear, I've heard my truth, that's like perfect, I can die now type of thing?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
It would be like an overabundance of euphoria. I mean, we look at users that
Yeah.
use certain drugs that build that euphoria so high that they think they can fly off the edge of a building. And, something like that, if it's a frequency that triggers you to release these happy endorphins, you're in your mind thinking, this is so beautiful, I want to go towards it without paying attention to anything else around you. And there you go, right off the edge of a boat.
That would
So
make sense.
I think that's what we're hearing. Like I say, our minds work differently as far as speech and music goes. So you can lose your ability to speak, but you could still sing because they're two different portions of your brain that work for that motion or that action, which is speaking or singing. So, that sound or that frequency could trigger the singing side, which makes you believe you're hearing your most favored lullaby that your mother sang to you as a baby. And in happiness, you're trying to go towards where your mother was at. And that's it. You end your own life not wanting to.
So here's an interesting story about a siren that actually followed a man home.
What?
So yes, it was it's a Scottish coastal tale of a fisherman who would go out on his boat every day. He was doing his job, and all of a sudden one day he started telling his friends and family that he started hearing singing. And every time, instead of, dragging him to sea, it began appearing closer to shore. So he would go out on these trips. It wasn't like over years or anything, but it was just, let's say within a week or a few days. And he is a fisherman, so he kind of knew, right, all this crap about sirens. And the most that he would try not to listen, it was just louder and louder to the point where he reported seeing the same siren outside of his cottage. She never touched him. She only sang the same soft song at his door all the time. And he was able to actually describe it to a friend. Like he was like, it sounds like this, it sounds like that, whatever. Well, shortly he ended up passing away. And many of the people that attended his funeral said that they started to hear the same song. Um, always before somebody would drown.
Oh, that's creepy. The same sound? So it's like a reckoning song. Like
Or like a
it,
warning song, like
yeah, kind of like what's that? Is it Ring? You watch the tape and it calls you 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah, it's like you hear this song and it's the inevitable is going to happen. That's scary. Like how does a siren even come to that conclusion? You know what? This guy's an asshole. I'm going to sing to him.
I'm gonna sing to him. But I mean, when have you ever known of such a passionate siren? She left the water, was hanging out outside his cottage,
Yeah.
just singing this freaking song.
She was looking for an audience. How could you blame her? Maybe her peers didn't like the song, so she looked for what would they call us? Upworld dweller, or
She had a
feet
tip jar.
walkers. She had a tip jar.
So
I mean, she couldn't get any tips because they all got unalived. So
exactly. Everybody that listened.
she's got to try a different tune, I guess. Looks like you're going to say
But
something, buddy.
yeah, in that story, does it say that she left the water, or was he near the
Yeah.
water, or?
It said the more he would ignore it, the more it would come closer to him. So he would start seeing the water, then offshore, or then closer to the shore, and then outside of his cottage door.
That's crazy.
That's
Did she like
wild.
scooch
Yeah.
like this all the way up to the door?
Was there like a
On her butt?
trail of water?
Just like, yeah.
Like a snail trail.
Yeah, I know, just like slithering up there. That's scary though.
That's crazy thinking about that. Like that'd be kind of like a seal coming after you, you know?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Just like, okay. So just to add, because this is perfect. It is a perfect time to share it. I have the video here of this modern. This video is crazy, Jesse. I'm almost sure you have seen this video. I'd be surprised to think that you haven't, but here it is. So this is more recent. I think it was like in 2023. You guys see this?
Yeah.
We got another one over here. What are those? What the fuck's going on? On each side of the boat? What are those trails called? What's something swimming fast underneath that water? Something swimming real fast underneath that water.
People are going to try and purposely mislead you always.
Okay. Calm down, Jimmy Neutron. We don't want to hear you. So I know I got cut off, but there's an extended one where he starts to hear the singing. And then he starts hearing yelling and like calling out to him. And what do you feel about that, Jesse? Those two streams of something swimming fast next to the boat.
I mean, I hate the open ocean. I feel like there's so many things in there that can kill us, and like I hate it, and because God knows what's in there, and like what shape or form it is. So I totally believe something like that can happen. I mean, why not? And what the hell's gonna like swim that fast?
Yes. And in that precision way, just next to the boat like that. I mean, if it's a dolphin, if it's a whale or a shark, sharks don't have that kind of interest with boats. They don't swim along boats in that way, at least from what I've seen. I'm not a marine expert whatsoever, marine biology at all. But even with dolphins, you can make out if it's a dolphin because 9 times out of 10, they have their dorsal fin above the water, especially if they're that high up. And it's unexplainable. Okay, so I found the video of him talking about the sounds. Like, this is ongoing. This is continuously happening. It's not, one video. Like, he's documenting this kind of. Check this out.
Out here, we're chilling. We're out here chilling. I hear it.
You hear that?
I hear him. Where's she at? What the fuck is that noise, bro? What is that noise? Where are you? This is crazy. I heard it. I heard it. I hear it. Oh my God. That's crazy.
Nuts, right?
But how come it didn't affect him in any way?
Oh,
well, in a way it was. Because, I mean, you hear screaming in the ocean. Why would you run across a boat like that?
Oh, yeah. Why would you run towards it?
Because that's Sergio. Oh, there's a siren. Let's record it.
Keep rolling.
I mean,
exactly.
I saw both of those videos, and actually I saw them in the order you just played them. The first time I saw it, I was kind of like, it's nothing. Because he's on a fishing boat. And fishing boats have these long, like, bars that go across the top. And that's where they hang the nets from, the ropes that you pick up the net and you drag nets and such. And so in the first video, I was looking at that. I was kind of like playing it back and forth. And I was like, they're both the same distance on the edges of the boats. They're both following the same speed of the boat. I was like, naturally, like their ropes or their wires are in the water.
Wouldn't they trail? Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be on the side and like trailing, like following alongside the boat, depending on what's there. But then I saw the second video and it's the same guy, the same boat. And now he hears that. And I'm going, what is that? Because now as he looks out the sides, you don't see those trails anymore, but you hear these screams coming from who knows where. And that's where I kind of tripped out on that video, on those videos. I was like, that's interesting. That's really cool.
And with that, with that being said, now I don't want to be in the ocean at all. After I saw these videos, it solidified my silicophobia. If you guys don't know what that is, it's the phobia of sharks. Don't ask me what's happened to me in the past. Just so a little taste into what that feels like. I had to be dragged out of the shark encounter at SeaWorld in San Diego, California. You know how you go through like this moving tunnel? Dude, they had to stop it and make some room so I could get
exits?
in. Yes, I had to get out because I was freaking out. It was funny to my ex at the time, but it was not funny to me. And I'll never do that again. I think I've done it once, but I closed my eyes the entire time. And it was only because my daughter wanted to see the sharks. So I powered through it. I was a good dad with my eyes closed though, like this the whole way. I kind of had to feel my way around and like trust. I think it was, I had to trust my brother more than I really do trust him. And
put your hand in like the mouth of a fake shark somewhere.
Imagine I'm surprised they didn't do that because we found way too much. But yeah, I wanted to share those videos. Did you have more on the sirens, Jesse?
Not really. It's just like comparing like the difference. Like, why do you think that even if like sailors were to hear sirens today, why it wouldn't affect them as it did like sailors back then?
Yeah.
But it just talks about, all the differences in like the boats, that they're not wooden and they get more sleep, and that everything's just more modernized. So it's so many factors. But yeah, that's about it.
That's a good point to that also, because if we look back on pirate ships that were all wood, there was no electronics. And now any boat that goes in the water has at least was it sonar to see what's below them, make sure they're not going to run into a sandbar. And like Jesse said, the sounds could drive them away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go. Here comes my favorite part. It's sad that Oscar's not going to be here to experience this. He said, okay, let's try this again. I don't know what that means. But Sergio, you're editing this. Let's bring down the lights and bring up the music. Maybe some noise of waves crashing and seagulls or something weird like that. You got it. Okay. You guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here we go. The night is quiet. Not peaceful, quiet in the way that feels wrong. The ocean is glass. No wind. No waves. Your ship moves. Just think back that you're in a setting of a wooden boat or ship, for that matter, in this case. Your ship moves through the waves, but nothing else does. Fog begins to roll in. It doesn't rise from the water, it slides across it, slow and deliberate, like it knows exactly where it's going. Then you hear it. You start to hear wailing and singing. Not loud, not echoing, soft and close. So close it feels like it's standing right behind you. What's your first reaction?
Turn around.
Buddy?
Probably keep going forward. I would probably start moving quicker away from it.
Okay. Buddy moves forward. You stay. But there's not just one voice. It stays with Jesse. And as Buddy leaves Jesse, it follows Buddy. So now you can put it into your thought there's more than one singing voice that are harmonizing towards the both of you. The sound doesn't come from one direction, as I mentioned. It comes from everywhere, especially in the water. Your chest feels warm, heavy, calm, like you just remembered something important about yourself. The fog parts. Ahead of you, dark rocks rise from the water like broken teeth. On one of them stands a figure. You can't see its face clearly. You can't tell if it has legs or fins or wings. All you know is it's singing to you. The song isn't words, it's feelings. It sounds like forgiveness. It sounds like rest. It sounds like being understood without explaining anything. How do you respond to these feelings as you're moving towards this rock formation with the figure on it? Accepting? You want to run away? Or keep watching to see what happens?
I mean, if I'm feeling comfortable, I'm just going to keep watching and see what happens.
And that's the point of it. It's making you feel warm. Buddy?
I was going to say scared, but I don't know if I just keep watching as well.
Your hands loosen on the railing. You feel like stepping forward would fix something inside of you. Feels like it can accomplish that. The closer your ship drifts, the stronger the pull becomes. Not fear, not panic, longing. You realize something terrifying. The song isn't asking you to jump. It's making you want to be free into the water, that you'll forget everything and you'll have all the riches you'll ever want, and all of your worries will be left behind, and you'll live the rest of your mortal life in happiness. The fog thickens around the rocks. The figure doesn't move. It doesn't need to, because now you're leaning toward it. What is your final action in this moment?
I mean, either way, I'm going to die because I can't swim.
But the siren can carry you. Can carry you wherever you want.
I'd probably scream and try to snap out of the trance.
I just go with it. Fuck it.
Jesse's taken and is never seen again. But it's okay, because the overwhelming euphoria of the music and in this case the singing comforts Jessie. But you never see what happens to her. She just disappears into the dark of the deep. Buddy, on the other hand, tries to break free of the song and doesn't want peace. So they end his peace on the boat. They sink the boat.
Damn.
Ship, in this case. Along with Buddy on top of it. End story.
They drowned him? That's freaking brutal.
Yes. Because they wanted you to go with them. So in this case, I guess you could say the choice was right to go with them. Either way, everybody was going to experience the inevitable. It just depended on what you wanted to happen. I guess
I'd be like on the mountain, like, but he's like, Jesse, get down from that mountain.
Shut up, Jesse. Shut up, we're gonna die.
So, I mean, I wanted to paint that picture that usually when we're on the ocean, we're never in control. Because I feel that way, that we're not in control in any facet. You might think you are, but you're not. What do you guys think about that one?
I died again.
I always like them. I like them because I get to sing. I'd be like harmonizing with them. I love it.
Yeah,
If
Jesse
I
can
play
become
Dungeons and Dragons, I'm going to be called Christoph, the Great Dyer.
the Great Dyer. Christoph 6 feet under Lockwood.
6 feet under Lockwood. I'd be the Great Dyer. I do laundry for people.
That'd be fucking hilarious. Okay. Well, I mean, that is pretty much to wrap up our siren thing. I want to believe that sirens do exist. Now, I say that about almost everything we talk about on this podcast. There are things, in fact, that I don't think exist. No, I might get some flack for this. One of them is the chupacabra. I think people just confuse it with other things. Don't come at me in the comments, but that's just how I feel. I don't know. Confusion with the cholo squinkle kind of stuff and, all of that.
Fighting words, Sergio.
I know. But that's just how I feel. But when it comes to sirens, because of the unknown factor of the ocean, I think you can't 100% say that they don't exist because we don't know. We just haven't explored the ocean that much. That's where I'm at. What about you guys?
I think that the same, like with the good, there's a bad. So I feel like there's some sirens that maybe are out there to freaking unalive people, but I think there's also some that are out there that are warning you.
Yeah.
Are trying to protect you.
Okay. I can get with that. I can definitely get with that. What about you, buddy?
I am going to lean towards the side of science and say, in biology, we haven't discovered everything out there. I mean, we know that mammals live in the water. And I want to say if there is something like a siren out there, it could be some kind of marine mammal that we haven't seen. Because, I mean, there's stuff way in the deep, like an anglerfish that has a little light that glows over its forehead to catch bait. And the way it mates is the male bites into the female and then, what do you call it, becomes part of the female. And that's how it mates for the rest of its life. It's literally there to die or melt into a female. So, I mean, there's no reason why something like that can't exist. Now, saying that there might be the lost city of Atlantis where we have the Little Mermaid and a talking flounder and a talking crab. No, but I do want to say I believe that there is some kind of, like I say, marine mammal out there that could possibly be there and could possibly have been seen by sailors and and seamen throughout history. We just haven't been able to explain it, and the only way we explain it is it was calling to me or it called to one of our men and it jumped in the water. We will never know, but I want to say it's something definitely can be out there.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. And to tidy that up, you out there, our dudes, leave us a comment. What do you think about sirens? Do you believe in them or do you think it's a fairy tale? Let us know what you think. Or if you've seen one, or if you've experienced anything when you're close to an ocean, close to the ocean, I should say. But yeah, I think it was
or anybody that's been in the Navy overseas. Have you ever seen anything like that? Our military boys out there. Let's hear from you guys too.
And girls, please, military women, thank you.
Military people, they're women. Both of you.
Wow.
Well, but that's true though. Like, what do sirens target women, or is it only men?
I think it's men. We just want women everywhere.
Men are weaker. It may be just men.
I'll take that, Jesse. I'll let that one go.
I will. I'll let it slide.
I'll let it slide. Fair. You're hosting, so it's fine. But yeah, I want to thank everybody out there that's paying attention and watching our episodes and whatever platform that you're on. Like I'm going to keep repeating in the future, or you're going to be getting more if you're on patreon.com. Link is down below in our description and in our bio, wherever it is that you're watching. It'll take you to Patreon. We have a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. We have an unedited, somewhat unedited and uncensored episode of Paranormal Dudes. You get to hear all the gross things we usually say and all the cuss words.
And all our deepest, darkest secrets.
And our deepest, darkest secrets that you don't see on this regular episode that you're watching right now. So, yeah, and outside of that, make sure you check out our website and support us in any way you can. Leave down some comments as far as what cryptids or what, paranormal stuff, supernatural stuff that you're really interested in and you'd want us to talk about. That way we could put that on our calendar, which is only available on patreon.com. Do you guys have anything for our dudes out there before we bid them au revoir?
Thank you for watching and supporting. And if there's anything that we haven't talked about that you want to know, let us know. Or if you have a story, send it to us and we will share it.
Yes, we will share it. Butster.
Same thing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us, putting up with us for a little while every Thursday. And for all you that are watching us overnight, I heard Calexico Dispatch watches us. Hi, girls. Thank you for watching. And everybody else, thank you to everybody.
And big shout out to Casey, who did receive his t-shirt. I hope it was supposed today. He was supposed to get it. And for winning the giveaway and for being a supporter on Patreon, along with Miriam, our other Patreon supporter. We appreciate you guys. That's all we have for you dudes tonight, but we will catch you guys on the next one. Later, dudes.